Hi guys, Jodie from JPS Advisors here. We are going through the survival guide for Australian family daycare educators. This takes all the fluff out of the education and care services law and helps you get those underpinning practices in place, and then that will enable you to move on. So we're currently up to chapter 18, interactions with children. What can I say about interactions with children? It is the core, the essence, everything that we do. So we talk a lot about intentional teaching practices in early childhood. We talk a lot about respectful relationships. We talk a lot about diversity. So they're the ongoing conversations that we have all the time, and they're the ongoing conversations that hopefully you're a part of as far as your service goes and working with families and those sorts of things. But interactions with children they should be respectful. And, I often say to people, don't put too much pressure and think about this too much. Yes, inform yourself. Yes, educate yourself. Yes, think about things from your perspective. So one of the underlying, I suppose, abilities that you should have when interacting with children is empathy. So often, and I'll give you an example, often we see things like a child may lose a toy and they're like, oh, get over it, it's just your teddy bear, don't worry, have this other teddy bear. But you've got to really see it from that child's perspective and have empathy for that child. If that child's really connected to that teddy bear for whatever reason, then you've got to understand that that is a loss to a child. So be empathetic with them. Oh, I'm so sorry you lost that. But don't just say it, mean it, understand that that child really has had a loss. That, they will recover from it, of course, but how are you going to manage that? It's also around listening to children. So, I want fairy bread for lunch. I want fairy bread for lunch. I want fairy bread for lunch. Do you want fairy bread for lunch? Yes, I want fairy bread for lunch. Well, you can't have fairy bread today. Maybe we can make that next week, or maybe we can make that a day after, or maybe we need to speak to your mum about that. But you can't have it today because da-da-da-da-da. So it's about making children be heard. It's not about giving children everything that they want, because sometimes they may not be able to have what they want if that's fairy bread every day. So it's not about giving them what they want. It's about hearing what they want, acknowledging what they want, respecting their choices when you can. So, yep, okay, we can have fairy bread today. Today's our special day. Yep, your mum said that you can have fairy bread. Your dad said that you can have fairy bread today. So, yep, we're going to do that today. Or no, we can't. So it's about those respectful, reciprocal relationships. Imagine if you were speaking with your colleague and they just didn't respond back, or they didn't acknowledge you, or they didn't treat you respectfully, they didn't accept you, or those sorts of things. That's exactly the same for children. So your relationships are crucial to children's well-being, and if your relationships and your interactions with the children, particularly your interactions, if they're really good and they're quality interactions and they're reciprocal and they show respect and empathy and understanding, and you are giving teaching within those, so we're the same that I said with the fairy bread, we can't do this because, so there is a teaching in there, there is a learning in there. So make sure that your relationships, listen to yourself sometimes, particularly if you're busy or flustered. We can get humans are humans, and we can get short. So make sure you're listening to your interactions with children and they are reciprocated for what the child's trying to tell you. And that's even with babies when they point, oh yes, that's the bus, or they point, you want that food? Oh well, I'll give you that later. Here, how about you have this? So there's that ongoing relationship, that ongoing interaction all the time. And it doesn't need to be verbal. Sometimes, you might have a child that's a little bit unsettled and you just may hold their hand for a little while until they calm down, or you may sit them on your lap for a little while. So it's really about that empathy, that understanding, that respect. So that's what we want for children in education. Well, that's what we want for all children, but education and care services as a family daycare educator, you need to be mindful of your relationships with children. Okay, we'll move on to the next chapter. I'll see you soon. Bye.